We are currently at the UN Gigiri Kit Yard, which is very close to UNEP and the United Nations, where world leaders are currently coming together to negotiate a global plastic treaty. We need a treaty, a strong treaty that actually looks at the entire life cycle of plastic. And this is a really historic opportunity that we have to actually ensure that we cut plastic production, stay below 1.5, so we need to cut it by at least 75%. Because plastic is a massive contributor to climate change, and in the next year, world leaders are coming together and actually have the choice to tackle it. This is an issue that a lot of people care about. It's impacting communities, it's impacting our environment, biodiversity, and our health. And we need to make sure that people realize that they have a choice and that they can raise and elevate their voices, because world leaders right now are making decisions on that behalf, and we need to make sure that it's the right decision for all of us.
In collaboration with Rwanda, Northeastern has launched a project on reimagining environmental multilateralism by empowering small states. We define small states as those who punch above their weight. They may be small in size, they may be small in population, but they have big impact. Small states have led on a number of environmental issues in the global arena. They have put issues on the table and they have driven collective action to create new multilateral environmental agreements.
Small countries have a very important role in international negotiation because we have not the same interests that big countries. Big countries that have a lot and big interest and their own policies, but small countries need solidarity, comprehension and cooperation of all the countries in the world.
Rwanda and Norway put together their effort, established a high ambition coalition to end plastic pollution, and then from that now we are having almost 65 countries that is joining our effort. So within this high ambition coalition, of course we may say that's where we are having a leading countries pushing for that treaty.
Well, we tabled this initiative together with Peru in 2022, but there was unanimous approval of the draft decision which we presented. This is where the mandate to negotiate a treaty to end plastic pollution was offered in UNEA 5.2, which is in 2022. So since then, we are seeing a big shift, big interest in making progress. Rwanda is here to share the experience that we have had. We've been on the journey of beating plastic pollution for 20 years. And this has not been a simple journey, but its efforts worthwhile. 20 years have passed and we're trying with local legislations, local laws, banning, raising awareness, searching for alternatives to the plastics, and encouraging our community to, not to be addicted to plastics. And throughout the 20 years, we are seeing a total shift in the mindset of the people. Our community is literally allergic to plastic litter. Even the young kids, especially the young kids, cannot stand seeing plastic littered anywhere, even in their courtyard. So for us, this is a very important milestone. This is what we need if we have to reduce the dependency on plastics. But that said, we are also encountering challenges because we are in this journey. Not so many countries are doing this. And if you're pushing for alternatives, the producers, the scientists, the innovation follows a big demand. The demand for sustainable alternatives is still low. That puts us at a very not so easy position to actually push for the shift.
When environmental catastrophes like chemical pollution, climate change, biodiversity loss, etc., come, they are, superimposed on top of other problems. So it means having additional costs from the meager income that these countries already have to address environmental challenge. And typically environmental challenges, as we know them, they are largely collective action problems. You know, everybody has to work together to address them rather than siloed actions here and there. Take the case of Rwanda or Kenya in Africa. They have shown exemplary actions, not by waiting for a globally enforced type of instruments or measures, but they have taken control measures from their national circumstances by banning, for instance, single-use plastics and some parts of these plastic materials that we are talking about.
So the government of Kenya is at the top in combating environmental pollution, including plastic pollution. Remember, we have phased out the single-use plastic. There was a ban, and that was in 2017. The Kenyan government just thought this was enough. The cattle were dying, the trees were dirty, the environment was, we were turning to a plastic town, plastic nation, plastic city. You would walk across our roads and you find plastic hanging on the trees, not flowers. So one day the government just woke up one morning and said, no more plastic, ban, bang. And the Kenyans woke up and they had to pick their trash. And now we have, our country is clean. I believe we are among the leading in terms of plastic eradication.
The issue of plastic is of great concern in Gambia. And this thing started way back in 2011 when we realized that there's a lot of plastic pollution and it is actually affecting a lot of our environmental biome. That is both land, water, and also atmosphere in terms of burning. So in 2015, the government came up with a ban on plastic, which was a law that is still being in place as far as the issues related to plastics is concerned. And thank God, the ban is very, very inclusive because basically manufacturing, importation, sales, use, everything. So it is very, very broad, and it has really brought a lot of relief in terms of dealing with plastic in the country.
Well, we see ourselves as a leader in the sense that, as you rightly know, only 5% of the plastic is being produced within the continent, with some countries producing more than 5%. But Africa, looking that at the end of the day, they will be the one to bear the brunt of the waste of plastics from the global north. So they are looking within themselves how they can control this by putting together resources, both political dimension through the African Union to see how they can resolve this problem, and then through the financial institution, regional financial institution that we have in Africa, and then mainstreaming the issues of plastic waste into national development programs.
We do really want to have a very ambitious treaty that tackle the whole life cycle of plastics. We are aware that we cannot tackle plastic pollution without having concrete measures that address the upstream part as well as the medium and downstream measures. We are very hopeful that we will be able to manage to tackle a series of issues, such as, for example, the chemicals of concerns that are included in plastics and that at the end affects the environment and also the health, the human health. Medium and small countries like Peru can have actually a very active role in the multilateral arena. This is actually a perfect space where all countries have the same voice and the same weight, and that's why it's a place where we can have a very strong leadership in many important issues for the international community, such as environmental crises, such as plastic pollution.
Through the Reimagining Environmental Multilateralism project, we seek to convene countries who are leading or who aspire to lead in global environmental governance. We seek to learn from their experiences, and we seek to inspire those who would like to take action.
Small states are those that punch above their weight. For me, I can wrap that in one word: called ambition.
There is clearly an ambition.
We have the ambition of a world without plastic pollution.
Let's work together and have ambitious treaty.
Ambitious and comprehensive treaty that address all these problems to really have a meaningful impact for future generations.
If all small states are ambitious, then we are going to pull off an ambitious treaty. Then we are going to make a real change in this generation and generations to come.